We're just starting. You can't already be dying laughing.
It was great. It was great. It was good stuff. This is how we should start. It's just like me laughing my butt off for no apparent reason.
Welcome to Hysteria, the podcast. A marketing podcast that makes no sense. No, welcome to Hold My Beard, a real marketing podcast talking about real marketing shit. I am Jake the Wizard, and I got with me Mitch Barham, the legend. What's going on, Mitch?
Still keeping on, man. Living the dream. Life's a garden. Dig it.
You know what I love about the Joe Dirt movie is that it's Howard Stern for the entire film.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, I never thought about
because
that
he's
way.
being interviewed, right, by Howard Stern. Like, that's the backstory or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But I love that. I just thought that was a funny touch for a movie.
Yeah, no, that's great. I actually never realized that, but I mean, that whole movie is just full of great lines. Like, I was just thinking about the one that if I said the line on here, we'd probably get canceled. But where he's outside his childhood home talking to the dude in the overalls, and the guy's trying to say home is where the heart's at, but
Yeah.
Joe Dirt keeps hearing something, but it just makes me laugh. If home is okay, man, I get it. You like, blah blah blah.
I think my favorite line is, "No, that's a space peanut." When he's got the meteorite, but it's not actually a meteorite.
Oh man,
it's dookie. If you haven't seen Joe Dirt, go see it. I'm sure you can find it on your favorite streaming platform somewhere.
Or just watch like TBS at any point in time, and it's probably running.
Yeah, literally flip on TBS. It's either that or Gladiator or The Matrix.
Yep.
So pretty much can hit any of those three.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about some marketing.
I mean, I suppose.
I suppose. So, couple of cool things this week. Pretty lighthearted stuff here. Nothing really to slam on, but we've got Nike spent 7 years designing a unique shoe for the sport of breaking. That's called niche targeting right there.
Yeah.
That's commitment to niche targeting.
7 years to develop a shoe for break dancers? Is that the breaking we're talking about?
Yeah, break dancing.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's very niche. Like, that is a blue pond inside of a bloody ocean of footwear. That's as much as I'm like, really? That's like you said, that's brilliant. Like, anymore, and that's one of the things that's not to like make this about me, but that's been holding me back from starting another e-commerce stores. I'm like, everything's so bloody. I'm trying to find that blue pond. But that 7 years though, man, that's a long time
to design one thing. Yeah, sure, absolutely. And it's not even guaranteed that it's good. Although I guess I would spend 7 years to make sure it's good.
Okay, so let's act like you and I know how to dance. What would make
Speak for yourself.
I know how to do like the T-Rex, just like stand in one place and shrinked arms and like, yeah.
I took the first class of a beginner's breakdancing.
Okay, so then
So
what
I am experienced.
Perfect. I can look like I crump, but I look like I'm having a seizure. So there's that. But and I try to walk, crip walk, but again, I'm just white. Like, it doesn't look right. But so you took beginner breakdancing classes.
I did, yeah.
What makes a good breakdancing shoe? Like, I'm curious.
I would imagine, if I'm remembering from all the years minutes that I breakdanced for, honestly, like, it'd have to be able to grip really well. Like, you need to be able to do high pivoty moves. You'd want to make sure that your foot doesn't move around too much because that would cause blisters and things like that. And also be able to take some impact. Right. Because there's a lot of, bouncing and moving and jumping and things in breakdancing. So, again, this is all from my professional experience. So,
yeah, well, I mean, and I definitely take your word for it. And I mean, the article right there says so they can still feel the ground, but when they're doing those hard landings on concrete, it also gives them some protection.
Yeah.
So yeah, to your point, the blisters and all that stuff, but then like also. Oh man, that's just that is a wild concept. Like, I still feel like 7 years is way too long, but, like, hey, good for them for finding, that small. I can't imagine that segment is very large,
Mm-hmm.
but from a brand perspective as well, it's more PR. It's like, look what we did, and then you're gonna get these collaborators and influencers that are probably big in the breaking
That was the
industries.
problem, actually, is that Nike had the shoe done 6 years ago. It took them 6 years to find someone famous enough to be the like spokesperson for the shoe.
No kidding. Interesting.
There wasn't someone famous enough to help them sell it. Oh man.
I feel like all you gotta do is go out in the world of like the show the world of dance and just like get the Jabberwockies to wear them or something, and boom, you're good to go. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go. So here's a hot one. Not to get too geopolitical. Boy Scouts have changed their name to Scouting America.
Mhm.
Is that going to save their brand?
No, no. I mean, how do I say any of this without getting canceled? They needed to change the name because it's no longer Boy Scouts, boys.
Mm-hmm.
It's all inclusive Scouts, and I still don't. It's still not. I mean, they have such a bad rap. I mean, after that, and
I'm going to give you a hot take. I think the new brand is going to help them.
you think so?
I do. Because it is completely disjointed itself from its tradition. It is now a new product.
Yeah, I can see where they're. I mean, it's like you change the name, people forget, and it's like, oh, Scouts of America. Yeah, whatever happened to Boy Scouts? And oh, they're done.
I don't think it's going to make the product better.
No.
No, the product is crap now. It's like, shrinkflation of an experience, but um the the break with the name I think will help them in the long run, because people who held out that it was still Boy Scouts will no longer be holding out that it was the historic Boy Scouts of old.
Yeah, but you still be. I feel like you'll still be able to kind of. I mean, but then again, I'm also probably giving people too much credit of like being able to connect the pieces of, hey, this is actually just Boy Scouts rebranded, because we all have the attention span of a squirrel. So, um, it's. I can see that. I mean, they needed to change the name just from a branding perspective. It was no longer just Boy Scouts, which is fine, whatever. Um, if Girl Scouts started letting boys in, like, yeah, you probably want to change the name. Um,
Yep.
and it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I would have to agree. Like I said, I hate to sound like a flip flopper, but I didn't think about that and how, you know, the news cycles and people's attention spans are super short and they're just going to move on.
So Google de-indexed a ton of URLs in February. This means that things that used to be in the Google search are no longer in the Google search. They can't show up. Google knows about the pages, but they're not there. As a result, Google is making some crazy moves in SEO right now, and it is both exciting and terrifying.
Why are they like? Why do you think that happened? I mean, there's been so many rollouts, but I guess I don't know SEO as much as you do, and yeah.
So I'll give the very short version of the last basically 2 years of Google search history. So go back almost 2 years, you get the helpful content update, which was right right on that cusp of AI really starting to hit everything. Okay, and that helpful content update came out, and it was supposed to ensure that the stuff that was ranking was considered very helpful. It wasn't spammy content, and it partially worked. We'll just say partially worked. It definitely hurt some sites that had been leveraging a blogging growth SEO structure, because if you could just randomly get flagged. Like
Hmm.
it was part of it, right? 10% of sites got hit. Flash forward to the next helpful content update number 2. And that one really hit some sites. I had one site that was doing about 4 million hits a year, and now they're down to about 200,000.
Ooh, ouch.
Yep. Yep. Fellow creator here on TikTok. Um, her poor site, which is a magnificent site, and she only wants to help people. Please go follow Melissa, the DIY specialist. She a daily DIY. She is fantastic. Her site is only helpful to people. She wants to make sure you keep as much money and your house as long as you can. Um, and her site got obliterated by Google. You can literally watch the graph just fall off a cliff.
Just a cliff. Holy
And
cow.
it was like, okay, so now we have to start questioning because this is only helpful content. Her site is only helpful content.
Right.
Yeah, there's some affiliate links throughout the site that are there to help her make some money off of being helpful, but it destroyed it. So then keep going. Then we get hit with the spam update, which was supposed to eliminate, spam sites. And what happened after that? The rise of Reddit and Quora. And that's where we're at today, is that Reddit and Quora and all of these forum sites all of a sudden are really dominating the search results, along with generative search experience, which is pulling some absolute trash to present as the AI result for your search. And so now Google is kind of manually trying to control their own pathetic updates. And so they're manually making these swaths. Like in the last week or two, we've also seen a big crackdown on a lot of these top 10 best of sites like CNET,
Right.
which used to be great back in the day. And then they became, they sold out, but now they're huge because they have so much traffic. So they dominate. Well, Google's been shutting those things down because anything that has an affiliate link on it is getting blasted.
Oh, so it's the affiliate links that's causing this, you
So
think?
right now, the only common thread that we're seeing is that anything that relies heavily on affiliate links is getting dumpstered into the ground.
Interesting. So I'm curious if this is just like with the de-indexing thing in February. Is it like an oops, they effed up kind of thing? Like it wasn't intended to do
Oh
with that? Or
no.
is it like completely on purpose? I don't understand the affiliate link thing. I mean, like people need to make money and you're like, I get the helpful content thing, but like with your example that Melissa got, like if your entire site is helpful and original, why are you being punished?
It's unclear, unknown, and it's unfair, to be honest.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, that's just absolute crap. And then they're wondering why they're losing market share to Bing that they've crushed forever. I mean, it's last I heard, dude, it's like 21% loss in market share, like as of last week. I was like, holy crap.
I'm telling you, if someone makes a pay to play search engine with
Mm,
a localized, cheaper option for local businesses, if someone wants to go make that, I will be on your board and I will promote the piss out of it. It will do so well. We need to get rid of all of this junk out there on the internet. We need to be able to get people to information that they need. And it's getting very frustrating for people. That's why we're seeing the exodus from Google. We already talked about this last week, going
mm.
over to Bing, going over to TikTok, going over to ChatGPT. But I don't want to get on that soapbox again. But yeah, it's getting bad.
So, do you see just out of from my own curiosity, do you see these like them rolling this back because they're freaking out, or is it going to be one of those things that like the old Yahoo executive is running search and I mean obviously Yahoo did
Oh,
fantastic.
Prabhakar?
So, yeah. Do you think they're going to roll it back or roll anything back?
No, I don't think so. I think Google's next play, because they realize that search is spreading out, to be honest. They know they're not
Mm.
going to have search market share, so they're going after the next thing, which is AI market share. They
Mm.
know that AI is going to be the future play. And so Google is actually lining themselves up for several bad quarters to try and turn their boat around. I think that's my prediction.
And it makes sense. You want like that does make sense. But at the same time, like you're also behind Bing because Bing had ChatGPT or Copilot essentially in their search and browser way before they did. So I guess they're trying to play catch up and get ahead of
I
that and be
I
like,
don't think it's about infusing AI into the search engine though. I think it's about creating a alternative option within the Google hemisphere for search that isn't traditional Google search. I think they're trying to pump up Gemini so that they can retain, because that's Google makes their money off of attention. They are a
Mm-hmm.
platform that is used. Okay. That is where they make their money.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same story for every other search engine. If you lose those eyeballs, you lose money. Google doesn't want to lose the money, so they're playing the game to start grabbing the people that are leaving their own search engine. They're grabbing people in another platform area that they would migrate away to, which is Gemini.
Right.
That's my prediction.
That makes sense. With your pay to play platform concept, is that businesses pay to get listed, or like we, the users, pay to use this search engine, say $10 a month, and we get unbiased, realistic search?
So I think you can only do it where the website submission is the paid part. You remain free to the user, because remember, the users are what the websites are buying. That's what they want.
Right.
They want clicks to their website. So they're paying for the opportunity to get those free searches, okay, without the noise of all the other sites. Because here's the thing, it's the amount of websites and the indexing that's the problem.
Right.
It's, you can have AI spin up 50,000 page websites overnight at this point.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much to index. Like, you know how they say the universe is expanding and expanding more quickly every day?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the internet right now. There's too much on the internet. In fact, I think one of Google's biggest concerns is we are physically going to run out of storage space on this planet for the internet.
That'd be insane.
And so what they're trying to do with their, and you know, bless them, they're trying to limit the amount of things that can show up in search to discourage the bloating of the internet.
Interesting.
Unfortunately, they can't find the right sauce, because every time they change the recipe, the fastest person to reverse engineer the recipe is AI. It's going to be AI.
Very true.
So until you limit the ability to show up in the search behind a paywall, you're just going to forever be spammed. Because here's the thing, guess what? The moment you charge per page or per bucket of pages or whatever, Reddit's gone. Quora's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Best top 10. You want to have the best 10 gifts for Father's Day, you're never going to compete with BuzzFeed and all these big sites.
Right.
But if you're on a paid search platform, BuzzFeed doesn't win by their domain size. Did they submit a page that's top 10 Father's Day gifts? Now you're in a much tinier pool, but you're paying, so you want your content to be super valuable. Right? So now there's an onus on the content creator to make valuable content, because I'm paying for it to be there. Think of it like it's Google Ads, but that's the only thing that can show up.
Right.
Because Google Ads, let's be real, Google Ads is good. I want to help people get to my product, get to my service, whatever it might be. Like, I would encourage people, if you're struggling with your Google search habits, start clicking on the paid links, because those are the people who are investing in whatever you're searching for. They are actually investing their money to give you the opportunity to see whatever they created. Maybe that's a cool piece of advice. Click on the paid ads.
Especially your competitors. Don't click on any of my clients, but click on your competitors.
So anyways, that was a soapbox I didn't intend to stand on.
No, I love it. I mean, because it gives some great depth and context into that whole paid search concept. Because like at first I was like, well, everybody's gonna get like screwed by Amazon and your Reddit's, Quora's, all that stuff. Like they can outspend everybody. But then you made the point that like they're gonna pay a ton of money and they don't want to do that. So then, yes, sites are going to have to make actual helpful content and good content. So that was beautiful context. I loved it. So like, great soapbox. Love it. Do it more often.
We got a little lighthearted one here. And this is going to lead into a little bit longer conversation, but Welch's Fruit Snacks teams up with Gordon Ramsay for an ad campaign. So here's the question that I have about this. Okay. Does celebrity endorsement mean as much as it used to?
My 2 cents? No, but I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, but I don't think so. Especially with these Welch's fruit snacks, like, bro. I mean, I love these things.
So here's the follow up to that, though. If you had to choose between a Gordon Ramsay or the top children's health specialist on TikTok, who would you team up with?
Gordon Ramsay.
Really? You'd still pick it over the influencer that has the niche?
Yeah, he's just more well known. I mean, I guess it depends on what route you're trying to go. I mean, if you're Welch's and you're huge, like you're just trying to get in front of everybody and like, oh, I recognize him. That's so cool. Blah blah blah. If you're smaller, yeah, you're gonna want to go more niche and get that influencer on TikTok that really focuses on these things and has that health conscious, natural ingredients, stuff like that kind of audience. I don't think big companies like Welch's or Nike or Yeezys give two craps.
Right. I just would like to see more invested in the small creators, and I think it's going to go that way more and more. But like if they had brought in that person and Gordon Ramsay and had them both agree, imagine the power behind that, right? Like, oh, I actually advise people and talk about children's food and health snacks, and then Gordon's like, and also I like them too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's going to be a lot more influencer play over the next 3 to 5 years. A lot more.
Oh, I've seen commercials with TikTok influencers in them where I'm like, oh, I've seen that guy on TikTok, or or this couple or whatever. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, they're actually like they got big on TikTok. They weren't, you know, big on Instagram or Vine or anything else. It was all TikTok. So I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
definitely happening. I I I I'd like to see more of the micro influencers, meaning like sub, million followers, sub 100,000. Like let's get those guys.
Right. And they're still getting tons of eyeballs, right?
Right, 100%. You stack those, and you got yourself the equivalent of a mega, influencer.
Right. You can hire an influencer for 500 to $1,000 to do an ad for you and get
Mm-hmm.
a 500,000 views on it. You
It's
can't pay a
huge.
500,000 eyeballs on Facebook for $1,000, can you?
No, not even TV. Like you wouldn't even be able to do that on TV.
So,
TV's like $150 a CPM. It's insane.
right, exactly. So, awesome. I got 2 TikTok videos lined up for us from my collection this week.
Oh God, I see my name up there.
Shh, you're not supposed to look ahead.
Oh,
It
sorry.
was supposed to be a surprise, damn it. um, this one I really liked. This is some hacky stuff, okay? But it's very clever.
Every gym should give themselves a 1-star review. This is a super interesting tactic that one of our gyms did. They apparently went and had one of their members post a 1-star review on purpose. I call this the Ringer 1-star review. And what this person did is basically wrote a glowing review in a snarky way for the gym and left it as a 1-star. And then he posted it on social media. And at first I was like, why would he do this? And what is going on? And then I realized everyone reads the 1-star reviews. And the 5-star reviews are great in bulk. It's great to see you have 200 5-star reviews, but nobody reads those 200s. They actually skip right to the 1-star review and read the 1-star.
I mean, it's a little hacky.
At first, I was like, what? Like, give yourself a 1-star review. Then I kind of like, as he was getting ready to say it, I was like, wait, but the verbiage is going to be good, because that's happened to me with like my previous ecom stores. Somebody gives you like a 1 or 2-star review, but then you go read it, and it's this glowing, like they're amazing, blah blah blah. They just didn't understand that 5 is better than 1. Or whatever. He's totally right. Like when I go buy something off Amazon, like when I was looking at this DJI camera or this boom for my mic and all this stuff, like the arm for it, like I go to the reviews, but I want to see the crap reviews. Even when I'm looking at like
Mm-hmm.
Shopify apps, I like, oh, there's all these 5 stars, but what are the 1, 2, and 3-star people saying? Because that's what I
Right.
really care about. Like what can go wrong?
Yep.
Very
Exactly.
hacky, but very smart. That's actually freaking brilliant. I'm gonna go give you a 1-star review with a glowing review right now, though.
I don't know. Have you seen recently? I love this, by the way. Amazon is doing like review recaps.
Oh, huh.
So it will say above the review block, it's like most users like the durability and quality, but they say that the paint chips after 3 months or whatever. And
Oh,
it's kind of like truncating all of the reviews for you in this like little block that you can read. I thought that was really interesting.
yeah. No, that makes it easy to kind of see high level, the good and the bad. Um, when we tried to kind of do that stuff when we use like Yotpo and Smile.io, where, they could click on certain keywords or phrases that appeared commonly, or like questions or comments and stuff and sort like that. But yeah, that's smart, giving it a truncated view. I like that.
All right, my second video I saved this week.
Oh God, I just posted this morning. If your Facebook ads are absolutely sucking right now, you need to get away from Vantage Plus audiences. They're killing your budget. They're way too broad. They're targeting the wrong people. And it is time to switch back to the old school method of interest targeting, 10% lookalikes, utilizing on-platform activity, meaning your video viewers and page post engagers and followers in your remarketing campaigns. This will substantially help your results, whether you're e-commerce or lead gen. Stop wasting money and make these changes right now so you can have that perform good. If your Facebook ads are absolutely...
Any further comments, sir?
I mean, I'm still standing by the Advantage Plus audiences are broken. The only thing Advantage Plus that works right now is e-com for shopping, but it's got to be a catalog. It's just something that I still am seeing. New accounts that I'm auditing, every, the 60 Facebook accounts that we manage, it's going too broad. Prime example, like I'll use an e-commerce example. I can compare an Advantage Plus campaign to in the same exact account and compare it to a lookalike audience or just original interest base. So I'm not even using Advantage Plus suggestions, just like going back to original interest base. And the amount of add to carts to checkouts to purchases, that ratio are significantly different. Like the Advantage Plus is getting a ton of add to carts, so it's almost like it's, instead of going after purchases, it's going after add to carts, the lower hanging fruit. And so you can get this huge drop off, and people are like, I don't get it, what's happening? And I'm like, I don't think it's optimizing properly. It's still broken. Accounts that, dude, I've been struggling with, like, I'll even blow your mind even more. Anybody that's been doing this a long time, we used to call the catalog sales objective dynamic product ads, where it literally, I mean, it's very bottom of funnel, but they've been on your site, they've looked at a product, and it shows you those products again, and it's very bottom of funnel. Those did not work for the last couple of years. I got a wild hair with one of my supplement companies that we run ads for, and was like, F it, I'm going to try this out. Because like, I know Advantage Plus shopping, if you don't exclude purchasers and engagements, which most people don't, by the way, and then they're like, I don't know why my Advantage Plus campaign starts out so good and then drops. Well, it's remarketing. It's literally remarketing, and then it runs out of the low-hanging fruit, and now it's prospecting. But anyway, but the DPA ads, as I call them, are working. Like, it's getting one of our clients a 4 times return. Now, again, it's bottom of funnel, but these things didn't work for like 2 years. And that's telling me again, like, yes, it's not tracking everybody on the websites because of depreciation of third-party cookies in iOS 14, but there's still enough tracking going on and knowing what's going on, especially because half the time you're opening a website inside the Facebook app and people don't realize that. So they're still kind of able to track a little more of that, but like, that stuff's working. And it didn't work before. So it feels like we're going backwards 5 or 6 years within the algorithm. Talked to a guy yesterday who used to work at Facebook, and left and started his own brand. But he himself we were talking about this, and he told me that the people he knows that are still working at Facebook and are like in the know, even they are saying Advantage Plus is broken. So not Facebook coming out and saying themselves, but like actual reps or technicians and stuff like that are like, yeah, Advantage Plus is broken, don't use it.
Wow.
So people are going to fight me in the comments, and people will fight me on TikTok about it, and that's fine. I mean, we all have our own opinions, and look, like, there's not one solution to everything, but I firmly I will die on this hill that right now Advantage Plus, anything is broken. I don't care if you're spending $1,000, $10,000 a day, it's broken. I've literally turned accounts around from like a 1.1 ROAS to a 3.5 in a matter of a month by just switching them out of Advantage Plus, to where they were like, we don't know why it's not working. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. And then the focusing on platform activity literally took their remarketing campaigns from a 3 times return, which is good, very good, 3 times return, 12 times return now.
Whoa.
just by adding on platform activity into that campaign. I was like, oh, okay, you guys only have website stuff. Well, then we could probably make this a little bit better by adding these, video views, video viewers, page engagers, and all that other stuff. It's such low hanging fruit, and it's bottom of funnel, so it should be high. But people they're just missing out on this stuff. I mean, I'm very passionate about it right now, to where it's because I'm still seeing accounts even being ran by agencies that are still stuck in this method. And you just got to be able to pivot. And like, I mean, when I watched almost all of our accounts nosedive in 1 week, it was like, holy crap, what is going on?
Yep.
In the only, kind of like you, with the only common denominator, like with the SEO stuff, the only common denominator was Advantage Plus audiences or Advantage Plus campaigns. And I was like, dude, I've even again, blow your mind. Going back 6+ years ago, I have started to go and like really deep dive into the breakdowns of like placements. Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it Reels? Is it Stories? Where most of the conversions going?
Mm-hmm.
And have one client that were only running their ads on Instagram because their conversion rates were better on Instagram, their AOV was better on Instagram, their cost per conversion was better, and like far more sales were coming from Instagram. So I was like, screw it. Let's try just running these only on Instagram. I want to see what the CPM does.
Mm-hmm.
CPM $14 nationwide. I'm like, it didn't even budge.
Wow.
And this is supposed to be a big no-no right now, right? Like, just let it pick the platform. This is us going full circle.
Absolutely. I have never trusted the broad placements. You use them, but there has to be an eye to narrowing those down if you do want those large returns, right?
100%. And it comes down to using the broad placements or Advantage Plus placements, as they call it now, and it used to be auto placements. But using that, you'll literally watch it week to week shift, and all it's doing is shifting where there's cheaper inventory. So let's use the same equivalent as Performance Max.
Right.
Performance Max, if it runs out of inventory, you get the leftover trash inventory. So you have to keep an eye on that. I'm not bashing PMAX, but it's kind of one of those things where like PMAX works in some situations and some that doesn't. Broad and using all placements works for some things, but not for others. So you got to keep an eye on that and like understand the data and watch if you're like, say 1 week you do really good and then the next week there's a huge dip in sales or leads. Go back and look at where were the ads being served the week it was doing good, the placements, and then this next week that it did really bad, where's it being shown now? And you're going to probably watch it shift from like Instagram Reels, if you're doing a video, Instagram Reels, to like Facebook feed. Total different demographics. I mean, think about it. Like totally. Facebook is like, elder millennials, mainly Gen X and boomers, and then your Instagram or your elder millennials and down. So by elder millennials, 40 and under. And then, so if that's your demo, they're not really cruising Facebook. I mean, my wife we're almost 39. My wife doesn't even get on Facebook anymore. She only cruises Instagram. And I'm like, oh, okay. So like she's gotten off of, I mean, she's still on there, but she's not looking at the feed. She's not doing any of that. So if that ad got shifted from Instagram to Facebook more mainly, like primarily more, she's not going to see it. She's only going to see it on Instagram. That's my soapbox.
My my mom, who's in her 60s, doesn't go on Facebook anymore.
Wow. Yeah.
Only Instagram.
Yeah. My mom's the same way. Yeah, she goes on to Facebook a little bit. Actually, it's my dad. My dad hacks my mom's Facebook account and goes and cruises Facebook. But yeah, my mom's a lot more Instagram, a little bit of Facebook, and I'm 39, so she's turning like 58. It's a very interesting thing. And then not only that, but I'll get on on my little soapbox real quick about how I mark my words. I started saying this a month ago. You can find it in my TikToks. Facebook is turning into an awareness platform. It is not a conversions-based platform. It is the first step in the journey of 20 touches, and they're not converting as much off of Facebook. And I can prove that to anybody who wants to fight me with it through customer journeys and Google sales versus Facebook sales, and where they're ending up, and like even email. I mean, a lot of them are ending up on email. They'll go to the site, check you out on Google, go back to the site, then they get a browse abandonment or like some kind of like nurture sequence, sign up for your welcome series, then they convert off of that.
Absolutely. It's an interesting time. I keep screaming from the rooftops. You've got to know your target audience. You've got to know where they're hanging out, why they're hanging out there, and then go to where they're at.
100%.
Whether that's organic or paid.
Yep. Where the attention goes, you got to go. I mean, it's so many people say, well, my audience isn't on TikTok. I'm like, trust me, they are. Like, you know, I don't care what kind of industry you're in, pillows, pickleball, jewelry.
Right. And the joke about it is that there's a segment of everyone everywhere.
Dude, I stumbled upon your content on Snapchat. And I was like, holy crap, Jake's on Snapchat? Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's the thing is like there's a niche audience on every platform. Can you access them? Right? That's what it comes down to. So,
and if you're not there, you can't access them. I mean, even like
absolutely.
Pinterest, that's a whole other one too. It's like Pinterest. We can get into that where you and I could build audiences on Pinterest super easy because they're there and it's indexable, kind of like Reddit and Quora.
If you've been around here on this podcast before, you know what's coming up next. It's Mitch's favorite little segment, 7 Minutes in Heaven.
He still won't let me say what I want to say, guys. I want to make it dirty, but he won't let me do
it. So in this segment, we're going to pick one of our listeners' websites to break down, advise, brutalize, and otherwise share the marketing love.
Well, we had a good idea from another listener that like instead of like do a Tom Brady style roast of websites.
Could bring that in the future, but I do think this next one needs a little bit of love from the marketing perspective. So I'm going to bring it up here and hit the go. So this is Smart Nora, and just from the initial screen, the extraordinary snoring solution. Interesting. Doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah, helps with snoring. Yay.
Helps with snoring. Now, I think I've seen devices like this in the past. It adds some kind of manipulation to your pillow that moves your head up and down because that's what causes the snoring, is my understanding.
Yep.
It's like you get stale in a position.
Yeah, and our jaws slide backwards. So if you can change the position and move the jaw forward, you can stop.
Do you feel like this is doing a good job of selling the product here at the very beginning, though?
No, not really. I mean, that video, yeah, it shows his head going up and down, but without more context, I don't really know why. Maybe he's just moving his head, or
just no like good call to action here.
Right.
Discover Nora in the upper right corner. I don't want to discover products anymore. I just want to buy them.
Right.
Buy Nora. Stop snoring.
Stop snoring now.
Yeah. Or stop your partner from snoring. Like,
Don't get divorced.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sleep in the same bed.
Sleep in the same bed. I don't know why they don't also have like a order for Father's Day option right now.
Yeah. That'd have been actually, you could have made a funny, we like, there'd be a funny campaign for Mother's Day. Like give your mom the gift of a sound night of sleep, and it's the snoring thing for her husband.
Yeah, absolutely. There's also some anti Alex Hormozy jokes here, I think, but we'll leave those where they are. No mask, no mouth guard, just sleep. I mean, that's not bad if you're used to those things. And now we finally have a price in here. $3.99. Looks like I can finally click this to buy. Again, why was this not at the top? Why are we phasing this in? I shrink this a little bit, bring it up, give me the buy now bar, give me a call to action.
Yep.
I do like the layout of the site. A lot of sites don't respect their own white space. You have infinite real estate on a website. Use it. Yeah, I was just talking about this with a client the other day. It was like, you can go forever. You're not paying by the inch when it comes to a web page. So use the space.
Very
So
true.
this is a good stat. This should probably be higher.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
All right. Ooh, a little quiz. Little pop-in quiz there.
The good old gamification.
Okay. All right. Now we're getting into your type of verbiage here, Mitch.
Be a lover, not a snorer. There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like there's a better pun there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to see that and the testimonials and that first slide we saw, higher up, just to get that social proof and,
And speak to people, right? Like, this is only a good starting phrase if I'm looking for a snoring solution.
right.
It doesn't tell me about the product, doesn't get me excited for the outcome. There's no quantification to it. No how, no why, no when. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just too bland to me. Let's take a look at a product page here. All right, here's the product page. With the image on the left, I'm always concerned about the mobile layout. I mean, you know what I'm going to say about this page.
Oh, I think they need to get rid of that image, take those risk-free free shipping, put them down below the add to cart button, scoot everything up. Like that's
Add to cart on the page break.
And we know how I feel about tiny buttons. I want that button bigger.
You like big buttons.
And I cannot lie.
You cannot lie. We could go into the whole song, but we'll leave that for another day. So what's in the box? Again, I don't know that I would start with what's in the box. Maybe start with the experience section, then work down to the box. The pebble doesn't mean anything to me yet. I'm not there. So you still got to sell me on it. So why are you selling me on it when you're just trying to shove it in my face? Like, I don't want this. I want to not snore.
no offense to this, but it's like, yeah, if you go to that, it's like, is that a wireless mouse? Is that what I'm getting?
I also have some other bedroom tools that have remotes that look like this. I don't want to get those confused. Although they all stop snoring, I can tell you that for a fact.
This is true. So maybe I'm just old school, but like I am not a fan of tabs, like having to click through things. Like I just love having it all. And again, maybe it's because I'm old school ecom. Like, you got your maybe an image, title, price, add to cart, then go into just having it all right there so people don't have to click. Like I want to make it so anybody could take the action and they don't get confused. So if you just continually scroll and it's like, here's the experience, which is your description or whatever. I mean, it's just a continuous sales page versus having to click through it.
And I feel like we need to somehow highlight this page a bit more. Because there's a lot of sleep aids out there. So knowing why this one's different, how it works, the explanation, I think is required.
Yep.
And that completes our 7 minutes in heaven, which truly was a joy.
I hope they enjoyed it as much as we did.
Oh, I can guarantee that this is going to result in a lot of happy nights.
Literally.
Awesome, Mitch. Well, I appreciate you being here today. How can I find you outside of the Hold My Beer podcast?
All over the internet as Beardpreneur.
Excellent. And I'm, of course, Jake, the Wizard of Marketing. You can find me at The Wizard Marketing anywhere you like to consume your videos. You can follow this podcast on YouTube if you want the full video version, or you can follow us on your favorite platform, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other one. We should be available wherever. And I'd be remiss if I didn't promote the 4M Mastermind group. Mitch, what's going on with that?
We're just killing it, helping people grow their businesses. Got the weekly Q&A calls, tons of information as far as courses, and just really helping people do better with their SEO and their ads. Like it's we all start somewhere. You don't know what you don't know, and there's all kinds of free info out there, but also like getting it from people who have already been there, done that, can help you obviously accelerate, your own success.
Excellent. And you can join Mitch and I every week along with all of our courses at teachme4m.com to join today.
Where I am trying to get Jake to put my picture being creepily sniffing him somehow. So when you see the two of us, I'm trying to get my mind to be like sniffing him.
I will only take the picture in person.
Perfect.
All right. Well, until next time, thanks so much for tuning in to Hold My Beard Marketing Podcast. We appreciate you. And when it comes to marketing, best of luck. Catch you on the next one.